Rise and shine, Value Farm family. Welcome back to another episode of The Farm. My name is Tina. You are most welcome. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing and also turn your notification bells on. And of course, to all our returning subscribers, you guys are gems. Thank you so much for always coming back to watch our videos. And thank you so much for supporting Value Farm. Yes, today we are back at the farm. And of course, today is quite a different video, very interesting one that we want to also bring more details to you, and this is free-range poultry farming. I know most of you have really requested us to do something about our poultry, and of course maybe someone out there who is aspiring to start a poultry farm. This video is for you. So I have Agnes on standby, who is definitely going to also help us, educate us more about poultry keeping, how you can start, what breeds you can start with, and everything that you need to know about poultry, free-range poultry farming. So let's go and meet Agnes. Hi Agnes.
Hi Tina, once again. I'm okay.
How is your day?
My day is perfect.
You look tired.
No, it's just the hot sun, but I'm not so tired though.
It is really so hot today. So
yeah,
please introduce yourself to the viewers out there who are watching you for the very first time.
I'm called Agnes Wera and we're here at Value Farm.
Yeah.
Consider subscribing to the channel though.
Yes. There's a lot that you should expect. So I was telling them already that we are going to talk about our poultry farming, especially free range, and why we are doing the free range kind of system. So I know you have so much experience on that. You can also maybe tell them a little bit of your background on poultry as well.
When it comes to poultry, normally you want to start small if you're first time. Because poultry has so many things that come along. But when you're going to, let's say you're starting, when you're at home, at your backyard, you can actually just get one cock and get a hen. Just one.
Wow.
Normally people call it nkoko nganda, but if you're from Arua, it could be nkoko ya Arua, but so just the local breed.
Yeah.
If you get one of these local breeds, you have your hen and your cock.
Yes.
Definitely the hen will do the mating and then it will start to lay eggs.
Yes.
Where you prepare a place where these eggs could be laid and then later on hatched. Okay. You will start with 2, later you can have 10. 15, very easy. You don't even need to give them any foods. Okay. The feeds are there at home. What your leftover foods, you just throw where the poultry is. And then what else? Another thing.
What if when someone wants to do commercial?
Yes, what I was going to even say.
Okay.
Before we go to do the commercial, you could be starting and you want to, you know, when you're doing poultry, the brooder is the most difficult part. When the chicks are a day old, it needs a lot of time. You have to make sure that you have the right heating. Everything is okay, because any single mistake, you could lose all these birds. Or you could lose majority of them, and then the profit margin will definitely go down. Yeah. You could consider 2 things. If you want to have layers for laying eggs, there are people who breed their hens up to a month. Okay. So the chicks have been taken out of the brooder to a month. Yeah. So you're buying them at a month, which are much easier to take care of. So you could start with those, like say 10 birds, and you see how it goes on from there. Okay. Because you cannot do a brooder and you're putting only 10 birds. A brooder, you should look at 100 birds, 300, 400, because of the cost margin. You're going to use light. If you don't have light, you're going to use charcoal in the pots. So to avoid all these unnecessary expenditures, when you're first time trying it for the first time, you could buy which have already been brooded out of the brooder, and you start with those. That is if you're looking at layers. So if you're looking at these local ones, I think you can see in the back. Yes.
What about, I wanted also to ask you, like for free range kind of system, is it only for the local birds that you can do free range, or even the layers, even the broilers?
All the birds.
All the birds can go for
free range. These birds should have already been brooded.
Okay.
You've got to
That is interesting.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. You could breed them yourself, but if you cannot, there are people who are already doing it for you. At the hatchery? At the hatchery. Get some which are, you don't get the day old, get the 4 weeks old. You can even find people who rear chicken. They're selling them off for old birds to be roasted at the roadside. Okay. What you do, get those birds, put them at your home and rear those ones. You'll see the difference.
Wow, that is interesting.
So you could have free range of the layers, you could have free range of the local birds, you could have free range of the broilers, you could have free range in turkeys, of all these different birds that you want. Think of a bird and you could have it at home.
Do it, yes. Wow, that is so interesting.
Then the other thing about free range that actually even makes it much more interesting, if you're doing it the right way, you won't even spend so much money on medicine.
Really?
Yes, you won't. What happens, try and put your birds in an enclosed area, like ours is enclosed.
Yes.
Actually, our farm is enclosed. You don't have any other person's birds coming here.
Coming in here, yes.
Because these other birds that come in could be infecting your birds. So have your area enclosed. If it's at your backyard, well and good. If it's fenced off. If it's not fenced off, do a temporary something there. Aloe vera.
Okay.
So it's called, I think, chigaji.
Okay.
Cut it, the inside gel. Put it in your water.
The water that the
birds are going to drink. This will help you with the flu, with the cough, and all these other things. So you're preventing something before it actually comes in. Okay. Then you could also get tobacco. Okay. Mix it in water. You could squeeze it up. Put it also in water. Today, if you put aloe vera, tomorrow you could put tobacco. Then chili.
Specific quantities that you need to put in the water?
You don't really put a lot. We would actually do a video showing them how we are going to do it.
Okay.
Yes. Then if you could also put a bit of chili, the local one, not the red peppers. The small local one, not the bells. Red exactly.
Okay.
You would also put that in your water. So that also will help your birds prevent all these other diseases. Instead of going to buy.
It's so bitter.
No, you put little.
Okay.
But people eat it.
I know.
Instead of you going to buy all those expensive medicines,
yeah,
which are not even very good though, because at times you have no choice. So what you do, you start with putting all these herbs into the water. The birds are taking. You could buy like a few kilos of maize bran if you wanted.
Yes.
But it's not a must.
It's not necessary.
Yeah.
That's why it's very cheap for you to do
yes.
free range.
What is left of your leftover food at home, throw in your backyard. Even if you don't, they'll still find the worms in the ground.
By the way, also here, let me just cut you short a little bit. Like the feeds that we have from the piggery section, like Agnes also told me earlier on that now the leftover feeds that remain from that side, we bring them for the birds. That is really interesting because you don't waste so much money. You know, catering for the birds. They are free to go and feed everywhere. They love the grass. They love
because you could say that eaten off the grass.
I know they've eaten all the grass around here, so that is really interesting. Yes.
You just have to keep.
What about the vitamins?
The thing is, the aloe vera also provides vitamins. Instead, don't free range basically at home. You don't putting in any money. You're just putting in a little bit of time because it doesn't even need supervision. Exactly. Open them in the morning, close them in the evening,
and that is it.
Yeah. Then if your area where you're living you have eagles, then you could buy a net and put it over the paddock. Yes. Okay. That is all.
Wow.
Then maybe you could get a small thing, build a small place for them where they can sleep at night. Shade. Yes. Well. But they'll always find shade for themselves in the daytime. Okay. They'll go under the kennel. If you have a dog's kennel, they'll go anywhere.
Anywhere that they can go to feed from. Wow.
In terms when it comes to profits, when you want to do free range birds,
kind of system.
Look at the local birds completely.
Are you serious?
Yes. Let's take a wide guess. You'd buy a broiler at 4 weeks at 10,000. Okay, if you're going to buy a broiler at let's say at 2 or 3 months, they'll sell it to you for 50,000. But when you cut this broiler, a half kg will be fat.
Yes.
Not so?
That is true.
Yes. Buy a local bird. Reared, I don't know, local birds will be reared for very many months. How much normally would you buy one at the market?
25, 30,
That 35. Is a broiler.
That is a broiler.
I'm saying topically local.
45,000.
Exactly. Yes. So if you're having 20,
I'll convert for you guys.
if you're having 10 of those.
Oh my God.
Because people don't want the broilers because of the fat.
Of the fat and the smell.
And the eggs. Thank you.
I don't like the smell.
So the local birds are more profitable and are more resistant to diseases. Okay. And even when it comes to the taste, definitely the local ones are much better.
Yeah. They're more tasty, guys.
Exactly.
That is the truth. Even if you went to a restaurant and they gave you local chicken and this other broiler chicken, which one would you go for? Leave your comments down below. I'd go for the local one.
Exactly, because of that taste.
Because of that taste.
So if you're going to do free range, try to go to do the local birds.
The local birds.
Yeah, because they're there. You'll
Less
find
costly,
farmers.
Yes, less costly, less feeds. There's no effort that you put in there. Yet you, at the end of it all, you earn so much.
They can't even ask you to deliver for them.
Wow. We shall.
Yeah, you have the local ones you can deliver for them.
So we know them. Yeah, we're still breeding, guys. But by next year, we shall definitely be.
Because they just only need two to start with.
Yes. We have the local chickens, we have the broilers as well, then we have the ducks, we have the geese. What do you think about our kind of free range kind of system that we have around here?
This free range is a very good example of someone who wants to do birds variety.
A variety.
It's coming to the festive season.
Yes.
Turkeys will be on sale. So if you've not been rearing them through the year,
you're going to lose out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because turkeys are really expensive. Though the market value in Uganda for ducks and geese is really low. But still, people also want this. You have a variety. When you come to Value Farm, all the birds you want are here.
Yes.
And you can actually just say, I want this. It's here. You live and have a look at it.
Exactly. Wow.
But normally, when you're looking at profitability, when you're a beginner, look at doing the local birds. And look at doing the turkeys if you have
the
space.
Layers? Most people say that the layers also are very profitable.
We're looking at a beginner, who is going to do free range at the beginning.
Okay.
So he's going to get his 2 birds, which will keep producing, and he's going to use the eggs for hatching
them
to new birds. Okay. When you're done with that stage, you want to increase your profitability, we go to the layers.
Okay.
So you could have the eggs being laid and being sold, but here you are starting up a farm.
For starters.
Yes, for starters. Let's just start.
But you can also go ahead, go for the broilers, go for the layers, like
exactly.
But for the beginners, start with
the local birds.
Okay, that is interesting.
Then
that's a tip for you.
Yeah, then if you want to increase, go to the layers. Because the layers, I don't know, depending on which part of the country you're in and where you're buying from, a tray of eggs could go for 10,000 to 12, depending where you are actually. And actually, the local birds, a tray can go up to 30,000 shillings.
What?
25 to 35, depending in Kampala which part you're buying from. Try to then check out the supermarkets.
Wow, that is interesting.
Because if a tray of local eggs in the village can be at 15,000, how much is it in Kampala?
Almost 20,000.
So that's why you see they are more profitable.
Wow.
Because you could rear them. If you have enough chicks hatched, you could now start keeping the eggs for sale.
In case you have maybe some little one and want maybe to increase on their sizes, what kind of feeds do you think you can be able to give to them?
First, invest in a drinker.
And a drinker.
First of all.
Okay.
Once you have your drinkers on site, on the place you're rearing your birds from, they'll have enough water.
Okay.
Then with the birds, normally if you want the birds to eat, you could start with maize bran, which is fairly cheap.
Fairly cheap.
Go to broken. Go to the pallets. Depending as your pocket goes growing and the birds keep increasing at the farm, you could keep increasing on the feeds. Yes.
Okay.
You could also get broilers mash, depending on the birds and depending on the pocket and how much you want to spend. Because I think anytime we rear anything, our major goal is to have profit at the end of the day. How much am I putting in? Will I be able to recover this money? Is this business being sustained or not? These are things any person should ask themselves, a beginner or someone who has already been in the business for a while.
So I wanted you to also advise anyone out there, like the profits at the end of it all. Like your investments, how should your investment be like and how do you expect to get the end results?
The end result?
Yes.
Just like any business, when you're starting, note down how much am I investing in this business. Have that noted down. All these other additional things you put, the drinkers, the feeders, keep writing them.
Write them down.
So because time is going to come and that time is going to reach where you need to get rid of some cocks because they keep fighting when you have so many like us. When your space is little, so you need to get rid of these cocks.
Rid of them.
So a cock could go for 45. Go back to your expenses. Don't first spend this money. Go back and think of, okay, I spent 40,000 somewhere. It has been paid back. So until you've realized how much you put in back, then you could look at your profits after that.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
But it's really a profitable business anyone can do, and it's very easy to start with very little money. You can start with 50,000 shillings. You could start.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh. And you should also invest more on the females, right?
Yes, just only one cock at a time.
So what is the ratio between the cock and the hens?
You should have in the beginning a cock and a hen. When it hatches out, you could still have it, but later it should not be able to mate with the hen because it's the father of the chicks.
The chicks, yes. So how do you prevent all that?
That's why we have so many per the farm to look at this. And also, you could also
especially
see
with the free range. Is that so difficult?
No, it's not.
Okay.
You see that when the hen has the buds and you're going to separate it from these buds, you will know. Then introduce in a new cock. When you have a smaller space, you could just get rid of that cock. You get a new one. Actually, it becomes much easier when your space is small that you keep getting rid of these cocks and bring in another. When the farm is small, that you have one cock at a time. When it gives birth to new cocks, don't allow them to mate with their siblings. This is very good. That's why we keep records at the farm.
Records at the farm. So do we have the records for the poultry as well?
Yes, we do. We even have for the piggery section.
For the piggery section. All our records are here for all the animals that we have at the farm. Yes. What advice would you give to a farmer out there, a beginner who is starting? What maybe one or two things that you need to really be keen about if you're going to start a free-range poultry farm?
Just be careful with the breeds you buy. Some people will sell to you broilers as
instead of
local
That is the problem we had, by the way. Yes,
you could look at the feet.
Okay, so that is what you look at.
We're going to have Simon show you the difference in the feet. He'll hold one for you and you see.
Yes.
Because people out there are very tricky. They'll sell to you a broiler calling it a local bird. So that's something you really need to look out for. Yes.
Okay. So the breeds matter first.
Yes.
Before you get into getting mistakes. What about the costs? What advice would you give them?
The cost in the beginning, of course, it's a bit tricky, but you can get there. Just keep record of what you're spending on. Do not start with buying food immediately. Let them free range. It's until you have the chicks.
That's when you can be able to buy in some feeds.
That's when you can be able to buy in some feeds. But at the beginning, you can just free range them, and once they're like 4 weeks old, you could also free range them, stop the feeding to minimize on your expenditure at the farm.
Wow. I think those are really the basics for poultry farming, free range poultry farming for now. But in case you have your questions, please leave your comments down below so that next time when we come, in case you want us to address, in case you have questions about poultry farming, we can definitely come here so that we can discuss more and also teach you more about poultry farming. Because Agnes here has so much knowledge about poultry, about everything, about mixed farming. So in case you have your questions, drop them down below and also let us know what you think we can maybe improve as well, or whatever we missed out in the basics for beginner as well. But make sure that you leave your comments down below. Well guys, that's what we had for you today. Please tell a friend to tell a friend, subscribe to the channel as well, and also tell your friends that we are here. Value Farm is around. We are providing good knowledge for you. We are learning from one another. We are learning from you guys. You're learning from us. And of course, as a beginner, please do not lose hope. In case you're beginning for the first time, you're going to face challenges.
Some birds will die, but it's not the end of the world. Continue. Continue,
yes. You have to continue. The struggle continues always. So make sure that you stand strong, and of course, make sure that you have something. You have goals that you're looking at. You have a bigger vision of what you have invested in. But guys, that is it for today. Till next time. Bye-bye.